Welcome to the Drunkard's Path. Today we are talking about O Ween, newest collection to show up here. It's one of the collections. Halloween is coming in May. This is the right time for it, trust me. Later on, my mom is going to show you some of the cross-stitch finishes she's done, as well as some of the things she's going to be doing. And stuff about the Sarnia Quilters Guild Quilt Show happening at the Point Howard Arena in Sarnia. There'll be more information on that, including stuff about kits that we're going to be selling. It's happening June 2nd to the 3rd, and I'll be there. So, start off today, going to be showing a nice, what's this one called? Ghost. These are pumpkins, not ghosts, but it does look nice. All of these, for the people who really like, I can fold it out a bit more, for the people who really like Halloween quilts and stuff like that, there are a lot of them in this house. If you don't know, she likes Halloween a lot. No owls on this one. It is called Halloween. Now, something I want to mention. We sell the fabric by the quarter yard, $4.74. I always get that wrong. Per quarter yard, which adds up to $18.96 for the whole yard. You can do the math on, however much you want to get is. If you look at other places to buy, obviously you're looking for the best deal. That's up to you to figure out what it is. I'm just saying, it's a good price. This is Moda. This is some good stuff. And shipping, if that's really an issue, it's not all that expensive, to be honest. Especially if you live in Sarnia. It's $5. It's just a flat rate. It's pretty good. Next up here we have Midnight. I'll fold that one out too. Ooh, it's stars. I can see this as not too terribly busy. It's just the same. Mostly the same pattern going through. We've got another one. Goblin. This is an owl. I don't know who named these. It's an owl. It's on a broom, as owls normally fly. Let me show it out like this. Maybe that's a better way of showing it. It's quite nice. It's the same stars as the other one. So obviously these things are meant to fit together. Next one we have Spell. I'm not going to show you all of them. You can see all of them on the site. This is more of a pinky. It's a nice pattern to it. I like it. I'm just showing you 5 today. There's 8 more. And again, like we said, there's going to be more Halloween stuff in the way in the next few weeks. So check out that. We typically show, like on the front page of the site, if you scroll down a bit, there is a weekly collection where we just show some of the things from that collection. This will be up here. When we get the new ones, that'll be up there, so you can just take a nice little perusal, nice little photo. You can click on the ones that you want to see. Or you could just go to the fabric collection, look it up, search it. There's a lot of different functionality. This one is Fog. It's just an amalgamation of all the different Halloween friends. To be honest, I like it. It's a cute little ghost on it. And then lastly here, for the fabric yard and stuff like that, we have the actual owl of the Halloween that's on most of them. And here is the full panel. As you can see, it's pretty big. I think it's a yard long, 36 inches. It's fairly sizable. I feel like you can make something real nice out of that. And we also have the Fat Quarter Bundle. There's 28 different fabrics in here. And it retails on our site for $144.95. It's a pretty good deal for this. And lastly, we have the Layer Cake for $64.95. Yeah, nice little look of the ear. Again, same style, which, I like it. Lastly, I want to talk about, we already had social media stuff, emails about this. This is a clapper, a tailor's clapper. The whole point of it is when you're ironing out your fabric and like the seams, and you want an open seam, you put this on top of that, right? Immediately after. It's wood. It just absorbs heat fairly well, so you flatten out, real nice and good, and it'll stay that way. This, specifically this one, and the only other ones we have that are available, was made by my granddad, who has done a lot of woodworking in his days, and just kind of made them for us. It was kind of like an offhand thing, like, you know, he would make them, and he did. And they're here for $20, which for tailor's clappers is actually pretty good. So we have a limited stock available on the store. You can see it's currently on the front page. And now, let's see what my mom has made.
Hey y'all, happy Cinco de Mayo. It's an important holiday in this family because it's also my son's birthday. So it has double meaning. So my husband, he picked up this cute little shirt when he was in Mexico earlier this year. And I thought, okay, today's a perfect day to wear it. Last week, I showed you my finishes in cross stitch. This week, I'm going to show you what to do with those finishes. I actually have a complete finish, I guess you want to call it. And the first one was the needle worker. And what I did for this one was my husband went out to Goodwill and picked up this frame for $7. I couldn't believe it, but it fit almost perfectly. So what I did was I sewed 2 strips on either side just of fabric because it was a little bit short, but that's okay. You just make it to fit and make it look, you know, how you like it. It's a little trickier to work with linen because it kind of shifts a little bit, but you know, once you get the knack, it's pretty good. So this was actually pretty economical to do compared to the one that I showed you last time. It was the Quaker pumpkins, and that one I had done professionally, and yes, it did cost quite a bit more. Okay, so that's one idea. The second one was the Halloween town, and this is my finish for the Halloween town. Now, this is just, I think, a 16-inch pillow form, and I just sewed on some gingham checks, a couple of solids. Well, they have a little bit of a printed fabric on it, but it was simple to do. You just sew on either side, top stitch. I did an envelope closure, so yeah, it was pretty simple with some nice fun colors, purple and green. But I thought that turned out really nice. The one that I'm working on now is called This Is the Day by Plum Street Samplers. And I'm changing it up a bit. Instead of the verse that's written in here, I'm just going to dedicate this piece to my grandmother and have her name written in here as well as her birth date and her death date. And that'll be my change on this particular piece. This is the piece that I have done so far. So there's still a little ways to go. I have the border at the top, and there's a border that goes below the house and the flowers, and there's some more stuff on this side. And then, of course, where I'm going to put my grandmother's name in. And it's going to look really nice, I think, when it's all said and done. You can change this to any way you like. You don't have to follow the rules in the pattern, so to speak. You can change up the colors and what you do with it. As mentioned in our last video, we were saying we were going to have a booth at the Sarnia Quilters Guild Quilt Show coming up this June 2nd and 3rd at the Point Edward Arena in Point Edward. And we're going to have some kits made up and some fabric and notions and all kinds of pre-cuts. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of what we're going to have there. This is a pattern that I just kind of made up, and it's all made with a layer cake and some yardage. So it was really simple. I will not have this particular layer cake. This is one that I had on my own from another time. But the layer cakes that I do have here, I'm going to make up a few kits, and I will put in the pattern, and you'll have the layer cake, the fabric needed, and the binding for this particular one. So it's, again, very simple, very beginner friendly, but it turns out, you know, something so simple can turn out so nice where you have secondary pattern showing up in this design. Now it's time for the giveaways. Last week we had a giveaway, And the winner was Linda Fielding. Thank you very much for filling in the comment. I know how to get a hold of you, Linda, so I will do that shortly. For this week's giveaway, I want you to hit like, subscribe, and put in a comment to the question I'm going to ask. It's really important that you put in that comment so we can choose one of you. So this week we have, let me see, we've got some pins. Oh So Clean. This is It's So Emma cleaning kit for your sewing machine. This ruler called Cut Right Bind Up. I think it's a tool for you for binding at the end when you go to cut off your two pieces. It'll have a nice miter on it, so very useful tool. And then we have a self-erase marker. So it's similar to the friction pens that it'll disappear with heat. So this week's question is, what is your favorite part about quilting? Do you like piecing? Do you like to do binding, the quilting itself, maybe designing your own pattern? Put in a comment, let us know, and we will choose from those comments. Thank you very much. See you next time. Keep sewing, keep stitching.